Good morning. I'm J. Lenora Bressler, and welcome to the October 28, 2018 edition of the Bible Delight in the Details. One of the most famous passages in all of Scripture is the beginning of the Gospel of John. For in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Now, obviously, we know that the Word was Jesus Christ himself. And you've probably heard sermons and Bible studies regarding the fact that this is the Logos, literally. This was a Greek word. It appealed, frankly, to the Greek way of thinking because they had been taught by Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates that reality, that it was about things that were in an ideal state, in another region, in the heavenly regions, and everything that we see is like a shadow. It's a representation of the ideal thing up in the heavenlies. And this was known as the Logos, the one true thing. Now, it is also true that God reveals himself in the Bible through words. And then Jesus came and was the living incarnate Word, demonstrating exactly how those words on parchment looks in real life and how God really is. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. My dad, who, as you all know, is a Bible scholar, was here staying overnight after a party with us. And he was explaining to me how, a word, just any word, when a word is something that we use as human beings to be able to discuss things that already exist. For example, a tree existed before someone called it a tree. And so this is a perfect representation of God himself, because God existed long before we called him anything, long before we were even here to discuss him. And yet, when we assign a word to something, then it becomes real to us. It becomes intimate to us. We can think about it. We can talk about it because now we have the language which allows us to communicate about it. Isn't that just like the situation with God? God has existed from time immemorial. And we now have a word, a name that represents God, the incarnate God. What a great gift, and what a great word for John to use to explain to us the whole purpose of Christ coming was to demonstrate to us, to show us in a relationship way, in a way that we could interact with God, what God is all about. It's fascinating, isn't it? Because without words, we cannot interact with the truth. Fascinating, isn't it? I'm J. Lenora Bressler. Visit me on the next edition of the Bible Delight in the Details. Have a great day.